The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning. Welcome to the ladies' room.
Good morning.
I'm Brenda.
It's your girl, KB.
Morris Media Live Studios. It's Friday.
Yay.
Whole week. Wow.
Crazy long week.
Yeah, this week it appeared to be extremely long.
Right.
I guess whenever there are minor challenges, it may make it prolong the situation.
Right.
Okay, so yeah.
I guess if it's on your mind, you think about it.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, good morning. Good morning. So I'm here today, and I did have a lady of the week, and I actually picked Coco Chanel. She was a fashion designer, a lady that had extraordinary talents in a time when women did not even have rights.
Right.
They couldn't even do what they wanted to do, but she totally surpassed all of that, lived this life with her boyfriend for many years back in a time. That's her, sassy. See those pearls going backwards?
I see those pearls. Uh-huh.
And that was like, wait.
She's making a statement right there.
Exactly. No, she was a bomb. And she pushed and forced her way through until now Chanel. Mm-hmm. Coco Chanel, that's her.
And we still wear Chanel.
It's my favorite, my absolute favorite, from the powder to the cream to the smell. And I know, I am patronizing another situation, but I do love her stuff because she did it with taste and style and class to me, and I just loved her. But she was just an extraordinary woman, built everything on her own, independently, wearing pants.
Right, and back in the day, that
wearing pants and experiencing, living her life, living with a man without being married, doing her thing.
Is that where we get our inspiration from?
She was doing her thing. Exactly. Mm. But I appreciate her because she was still strong in a time when it took, it
was really hard back
then.
Difficult,
very difficult. Very difficult. But her quote was, I wanted to read her quote right quick. She said, keep your heels, head, and standards high. Coco Chanel.
Words
and
to
she
live
pushed
by.
it. Yes. Her dude had it going on. He was a little rich guy too, and he was just in love with her, but she would not marry him. She just continued to maintain her independence, and I think that's the point: being independent, because you can
can pretty
do
much
whatever,
call your shot,
whatever it is you want to do, and that's the whole thing about it: is a woman achieving singly for yourself, by yourself, with
doing
yourself.
What you want to do.
Yeah, but getting it done.
Getting it done.
And that's the hardest part right there. We can all talk about it, but actually doing it, the lips
are two different things.
Lips will say anything, but our behavior just refuses to lie.
Right.
So she did her thing, and without anybody, saying, okay, they did try to stop her, but she just kept going forward.
She pushed through.
She started off with hats.
Made it happen. Oh, she started off with hats.
Oh. She made hats, and then went from that
for men or women?
For both.
Oh, okay.
But basically women when she first started, and she just pushed through that and went to clothing and went to perfume. So you do not have to invent the wheel. No, it's like Rihanna and the Kardashians. Anybody, if you have money, just look at the program. And that's why you invest in the makeup and you invest in all those things. But she said she was a trendsetter.
She was.
Okay, that's enough of my lady of the week. Ms. Coco Chanel.
Okay, well, for my lady of the week, I chose Simone Biles, the 21-year-old, four-time Olympic gold medalist. Okay. Despite falling twice last week, she had a trip to the ER for a kidney stone. Okay. And she managed to compete. She didn't stop because her stomach was hurting. She didn't stop.
Right.
She went ahead and competed. She was one of the first women to win 4 all-around titles. She secured first place.
Okay.
over a lady in Japan. Her name is like Mai Murakami, something like that. Okay. So Biles went ahead and secured first place, despite having kidney stones. Bless you.
Okay, thank you.
So Yeah, she had tweeted about it. A lot of people were scared because they didn't know what was going on with her, but it was, due to kidney stones.
Okay, so did she did participate?
She did participate.
Did she place?
She got first place.
Oh my God.
First place.
That was awesome. Yeah, so even with the tummy ache.
Right. So, that just goes to show the strength that we possess,
Push forward.
Yeah, we have pain, but we push through it. We push through it. That's what women do. We do that.
No, seriously, that's a great example.
It is, and for her to be so young,
because that's what it is. You do have to push through it. If that's what you're doing that. This is what I'm doing.
That's for sure.
Exactly. I don't think she did that. She pushed through, kept going. Little Simone.
Right. And I had some motivation, Friday motivation. Author is unknown, but it says we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges, and that's true. That is so true. If it was easy, everyone could do it.
Challenges. I think everyone has them, though.
Right, we do.
But it depends on how you grow, because I think when you are growing, it is saying that I do understand that there are levels to this life. There are levels to this growth, and growing is going to different levels at different times. So if I'm definitely with growth.
Right, because every day the sun is not going to shine every day. You're going to run into a puddle here and there. You put your rubber boots on and keep going.
Oh, absolutely. Look, she said, put the rubber boots on and keep going.
Keep it
okay, and that's really true. You have to, because there are things that will break you. They will try to break you, or just moving every day in this life and trying to maintain is already enough in itself. Right. But then you have people that are close to you, people around you, situations that just are arising that will definitely try to break you.
Right.
And so what do you do? How do you fight against that? We're going to move on into this conversation because I like it.
Oh, boy.
So how do we deal with that with the people that, might not see your vision, might not, sometimes some people just don't even want to see you just come up.
No, that's true. That's sad.
That's definitely I hate to
true.
say that.
Right.
I hate for those words to come out of my mouth, because I've been a positive inspiration. But as you grow and you see it.
Right. And then you have people who doubt. They're going to always doubt. You just have to show them. Show and prove.
I like that part too. Show and prove. That's a good little slogan.
Show and prove.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So that was a good little quote too.
Okay, thank you.
That was really cool.
KB.
Okay, we're going to go there in the house. No. Did you hear anything about the 49er cheerleader?
Oh, the one who took a knee.
Yes, I couldn't get her name, but I did get the guy who took the actual picture. And it went viral.
Well, of course. But were any... Did she get any disciplinary action taken against her, or
I didn't read any?
Oh, okay.
I think it was just. I think it all is just so new at this moment because he just did it. It just went viral. So I think what's going to happen is a day or two we'll get the results. Yeah. But I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure mentally. Okay, she's really feeling it.
Right. She had to be.
Okay.
Because you have the players who are not even doing that anymore. Right.
Exactly. So maybe the contracts that they did revise, it didn't have anything to do with the cheerleaders.
Probably just the players.
Okay. So here now we have a new situation.
Right.
Which is good. Let's just challenge the system in it's a big way. Because, if she's a cheerleader for the 49ers, it was easy getting there, I'm sure.
Right.
So she's putting herself on the line.
Yeah.
And I didn't get her name, but I will.
Okay, so you said it was a female.
Yes, it was a female. So what else?
You heard about Google, the employees, they walked out demanding equality, gender equality, and
gender.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with what women?
Yeah, women.
Oh, the women
mainly
walked out.
Women. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then there's a lot of sexual harassment and discrimination cases, but nothing is being done for the people that supposedly impose the harassment. Okay, nothing's being they're not. They're still working there. They weren't fired, anything like that. So they're saying they're not doing anything.
Okay, so
they're
want
demanding.
Action.
Right, they want action.
They want action. I mean, after the whole Bill Cosby thing has set it off.
Right. It's the Me Too movement that's behind it. And you know that was going to happen.
Right. And the men should just totally understand. Just think outside the box. Do not say anything to these women because you are going to be in trouble.
Don't mess with us. No, it's fine.
In the workforce, you cannot do that. You cannot say anything to the woman that can be anywhere considered sexually harassing her or anything. You need to look up the laws and find out what it's saying
really going on,
so that you can work within the ramifications, because it's not like it used to be where you could say those things.
Because they're really pushing that the future is female. They're really pushing that movement.
It's true.
Mm. Yeah, even females that are not females is on it. You know what I mean? So you got to really pay attention to that.
When you say females that are not females?
You know, men that, the transgender.
Okay, because they're feeling women. They're feeling like they're women.
Right.
I saw an article. Well, actually, I did read an article yesterday about two brothers, twins. Mm-hmm. They both were born girls.
Oh, really?
And now want to be men. And they look like men now.
Really?
From the body build, as far as the facial hair, the muscular body, the build. One of them's a little bit more built than the other one is, but they both are doing it, and then they want to transform the bottom part of themselves to be completely transformed.
Wow.
Transgender.
Because, they take hormones, so they, like for the men that want to be women, they grow breasts. I mean, like it's a lot of them that really do look like women,
How do you get rid of your breasts?
I think you have to tape them down. Like I think from a young age, you know how they like
tape them down.
Yeah, tape them down.
Because these guys didn't look like they had breasts at all. They had chests.
Or maybe they had that surgery.
I don't know. I'm just saying they did definitely have the chest. And then I was just shocking. It was twins. Both of them are going through the same thing.
So they're probably feeling the same way.
Maybe the twin stuff is really, 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 really real.
Right.
But they totally, both of them are doing it. So the transgender thing is real.
It's big. It's big. It's huge. I don't think it's going anywhere. So something you got to pay attention to. But the walkout was from Europe to Asia, and then all throughout America. So it's huge for Google.
And they did it today?
No, I believe it was yesterday.
Was it successful?
Don't quote me on that.
Okay. What happened? Did Google shut down? Because I used it yesterday.
No. They're not shut down. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure they can't ignore it, though. They got to address it.
You have to do something about it. And it's important. Just fair wages to people that are doing really doing their job and that are really trying to make your company money. Mm-hmm. We deal with this. Here's the thing. If they're making money for your company, you're making the most money. So why not just take care of your employees? And if you have them happy, they're going to work
if somebody makes an accusation, and at least, have a proper investigation of it, have a mediation, something. Don't just, sweep it under the rug. It has to be addressed.
Well, I think it is now.
Well, it definitely will be now.
Me Too going on after it.
All they need is that one lady. What's her name? Gloria. What's that one lady who's
the attorney?
Yeah, all right. That's all they need.
What is her name?
Gloria Alvarez.
Okay.
To get on it. It's a done deal.
Because this is what I do for a living, and she knows it. That's a good thing, though. Because she knows who she is on purpose. She's going to get the situation under control. But I think that they need to do what they need to do. If they were not treated fairly, or if they're not being treated fairly, or if they were sexually harassed. You don't have to do that.
Everybody who said they were sexually harassed, I'm pretty sure. You're going to have some who were, and you're going to have some who weren't. But just investigate and find out. Take the time.
Yeah, that's that part of it.
Right. So how was your week?
Wow.
We're here, huh? We're actually here. Wow. Oh, my God.
Oh, but you know what? I didn't get a chance because I think I went to go see my son in Arkansas.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
That don't count for this week. I'm messing with you.
Oh, my God. So 2 weeks ago, I did have an opportunity to go to Arkansas, and down south was really different. Everybody was really pleasant. The hospitality was unbelievable. The people were so friendly and just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
My voice is still messed up from the game. Just screaming and hollering and enjoying the whole thing.
And
it was a lot of African American people.
in Arkansas?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was their homecoming week, so the alumni came back, and they really, really stressified education in the South. All the fathers were educated, all the sons and grandsons. Everybody had went through an institution of education, higher learning.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes, we met families, and the families, it was generational. So that was really interesting.
So what you're saying is, if you want a smart man, go to Arkansas, in the South.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just sharing the fact that everybody, they were educated. It was generational of educational brothers.
Yeah, that's good. That
understood
really is
that
thing.
Part of life. I'm not yay or nay to it. I'm just expressing the experience. I was like, okay. And the hospitality was off the chain. It was unbelievable. They rolled out the red carpet for us. And I was like, okay, this is totally awesome. My son was happy to see us.
Yeah, I know.
Super happy to see us. It's like, oh, jeepers. And he's like, okay, so 1 block is the hotel?
Wow.
No, it was bigger than that, but it just seemed like that. But it was different. It was Southern, woodsy.
Yeah. Hospitality is what I like.
Conversations
whenever you go down
different.
Down south. Even in Texas,
We rode through Texas. It was really nice. But everybody was wonderful.
And I got it. We're going to Texas soon, so.
Okay, Texas is what, 880 miles of Texas?
Oh my gosh.
What part of Texas? Texas is huge.
It is it's huge.
Well, we wound up having a good time, and that was great.
Yeah.
And I told the whole family we enjoyed ourselves. Yeah. And so now we just back up. Okay, so Thanksgiving is coming. What's up?
We got to watch those calories now. Now, are you cooking this year?
You know what? It's really up in the air.
Well, of course I got to cook. My daughter will be here. I'm cooking.
So, I have everybody is vegan, vegetarian,
and then they're doing their own thing over
families. Here, so, but I really like my day of the whole entire year is Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah, I like that day. That's the day that I like designated for me, for my family, because we get an opportunity to all be together.
Yeah.
And the holidays, even if you believe whatever you believe or don't believe, it's just something in the air that just really, it's really so beautiful.
It's a really beautiful time of the year.
Yeah. So
because, with us, with, Aiden, since he was 4, he was like, there's no Santa Claus. And he went to school telling everybody there's no Santa Claus. I was like, no, there really is. You have to, if you don't believe, you won't receive. And he was like, Mom, I saw you put this stuff in the closet. I know you wrapped it. He was only 4.
Okay, so you had to be truthful
with
them.
I had to be truthful. And then he was like, so it's okay for parents to lie? This is the one you can't just go. Nothing goes over his head. So
oh my God, that's awful.
I had to sit down. I thought about it. I was like, well, no, it's not okay for people to lie, parents to lie, whatever. But you just have to be straightforward with him. He knows. And he went, to this day, my friends still think it's Santa Claus. But he made me think about it because I was like, he asked me the history of Christmas. So I had to actually look it up. And I was like, you know what? It's a pagan holiday. Why do we celebrate Christmas? And I even asked the pastor. And the pastor was like, well, basically what he said is like a little white lie. And I was like, that just didn't sit well with me. So ever since, I think it was 4 years ago, we stopped. I mean, not celebrating Christmas, but we just celebrate family time.
And that's the same thing, all in a nutshell of what I was saying.
Right.
Is that everybody,
it's just that family time.
It's just a family time. It's not so much about the Christmas itself, because everyone knows what it is.
Right.
But it's just about something in the air.
Right.
And it's just that family time, and we can have gatherings and just enjoy each other's company, and that's what I'm digging.
We don't do trees. I was like, hey, you messed it up. Because you know how nice it looks when you decorate the tree. But we don't do none of that no more.
Oh, jeepers. And you guys still have small children.
Right. Well, just Aiden. Aiden.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the one who's like,
just forget it. As long as I get what I want.
Right. Just give me some gifts.
Just give me
what
I
want.
Cool. And we can get that before the day or after the day or whatever it is. But I just dig that whole family time during that time. And Christmas Eve is a day that I would really love to sit around with the family. And just like everybody, Monopoly, just whatever all night. And then you have Christmas to go be with your other family.
Right.
Because everyone is grown
Everybody's
now.
grown. They got
so
their
now
own
they have
thing.
Girlfriends and boys,
Right.
they have everything that they have, and it's okay. And I'm good with that. But I do Christmas
But that
Eve.
one day, and you better be there that one day. Everybody.
And then after that, everybody can do whatever they want to do, and it's okay. Because I realize that, their life, they're living their little lives.
Right.
Go right ahead. Right. But then once everybody really get hooked up, then it'll be everybody come to that location on that day, which is Christmas Eve.
I wanted to share on Wednesday night, Chris and a friend of his, they got a chance to go to Justin Combs' Halloween bash. But I have to say, I went to the house. It's a mansion, 3-story mansion. Every room that I walked in, I was like, this is what God wants for me. Like my F's in that movie, that's the wife I want.
Wait a minute. Your epiphany was really clear at that moment.
And I just kept walking around the house, like on the elevator, all the way down. They had a pool in the back. I was like, this is goals. Goals. Every room I went in. But it was just so off the chain. I should have brought the pictures.
Oh, you didn't bring the pictures?
I didn't bring the pictures.
Cheapers.
Yeah, I don't have them on this phone.
But definitely, it sets a precedence for if that's what you want to achieve. I was
just like, yeah, this is me. Like even the it was like 3 master bedrooms, throughout the house, and they had several rooms, and then the guest bathroom downstairs had 2 stalls in it. It was off the chain, really really nice. I could see me in it.
What do you think the price was? We're
not going to talk about that.
Okay, so there we go. So that means goals, and you have to achieve them. Right. Setting the goals.
Got to get those bags.
Once you do that, then work it out.
Right.
And it's going to happen. Because that's
dainty
exactly what you want.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Did you say that? You said dainty butterflies.
Dainty butterflies.
I'm just with the butterflies.
It's going to get me there.
Just with the complete butterflies. or one way or another, it's going to happen. Because if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And if you want it, then you have to go get it. Right. And that's part of having the vision board. And the project board. And once you have your vision board showing you what you want, and then once the project board, once you continue to use it and moving towards that goal, it'll be a matter of time before it's achieved, because that's how you have to get it.
Right.
So get it time.
That's good.
It's really get it time. Okay, so.
Take this moment to go to break.
Hey, welcome back to Morris Media Studios. Welcome back. I'm Brenda.
It's your girl, Katie.
Go back to the ladies' room. Okay, so that was pretty good. So let's go to some of the things that was happening. I heard the conversation with Trump this morning about the border and the immigrants. And it just made me feel a particular way. It's like, really?
Right, because he has troops at the borders now. Troops. Because they're saying that the illegal people who are trying to get over here are being violent at the gate, like throwing rocks and this and that. So what do you do?
Okay, I did hear him say if they throw rocks,
then they need to protect themselves. The truth.
So I don't want to misinterpret what I thought I heard him say. But if they're throwing rocks, and then you're gonna go back with bullets?
I hope not. He didn't really specify, but I'm just saying.
You didn't get that from what he said?
Well, I mean, No, I didn't. You didn't. I didn't. I don't know the actions that they're going to take, but I hope that's not what they're going to do.
Okay, but when he said
that, they shoot black people too.
Yeah, all day long.
So you never know.
I know, I understand, but I was just saying when he said that was my first reaction was,
they're going to shoot them.
Is he going to shoot the people?
Wow.
If they throw rocks or sticks or stones.
Wow.
So I guess a stone equate to a bullet.
A phone doesn't, some cases.
I mean, but you know that they're there. But the people, it's both sides. Right. The people, that the possibility that you could be damaged or hurt. But then I guess you want your freedom for fighting. You want your freedom so bad that you're willing to fight for it and die for it. Right. That might be something really serious to them as well. Right. If you're willing to die for it, or you're willing to really shake those gates and do those things because there's a cause and effect.
Right.
So
it depends on.
It might be a serious issue for them to want to be in here, to come to America, to be in America.
Right.
So my question is, what's going on that is so desperate that you come here? Is that much opportunity and no opportunity in Mexico? I'm not sure. It's just a thought that I was having because they are really trying to enter this country.
Now, didn't Mexico back President Trump decision to have, because wasn't I gotta get that story. It was another country trying to get over here, and Mexico agreed with Trump that they would join him to stop them from coming over here. I think it was the Bahamas or somewhere, that area, something like that. Did you hear about that story?
I can't really get the specifics on it right at this moment. I remember something
but my
general on
whole
it.
thing is, how dare you try to stop somebody else from coming over here?
But here's the thing, is that my question is, why does he feel the need to do that? What would make him want to stop others from coming?
Let me call Trump.
To find out why. Because that's the whole thing. Is what would make him want to do that? Is it doing it for the protection of the country? Is it a business move? Is it why? What is the purpose of it? So I think once I can get some information on that, I'll feel better about whatever.
Discussing it further.
Yes, because it's definitely some type of motive. Everybody has a motive for whatever they do. So
everybody
what is
has
Trump's
a
motive to say that you can no longer come to this country?
Right.
Yeah, so
now, did you hear about Merck? Merck's the pharmaceutical company.
What happened with them?
They in their delivery of life-saving vaccines to Africa.
Okay, say it one more time, please.
Merck's ends delivery of stops life-saving vaccines to Africa.
Okay, so why?
Because they're saying that the supply constraints, the pharmaceutical giant is pulling out of its long-term agreement to provide rotavirus vaccines to 4 countries in West Africa.
But why? What's the purpose?
They're saying that they have supply constraints. I guess they're not. They don't have enough. Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah.
It's new. Okay.
That's kind of odd though, because you have a lab. You're a pharmaceutical company. You can go in there and produce more. But I don't know. Maybe the cost for producing them.
But we know that they're making way more money than
the pharmaceutical companies are winning.
So they totally just don't want to do it. It's no longer advantageous to them financially. There's something going on.
But get this though, they will supply vaccines to China. Right.
Okay, so changing of the guards.
Yeah.
So there was a deal cut somewhere.
There was definitely a deal made.
Somewhere there was a deal cut, and now we have to honor what we're saying. Right. And that's what happens with presidencies and all type of positions, period. If people just say, okay.
Politics, for real.
Just in life, period. Here it is. It's in life. It's who's pimping.
Who?
Yes. In life, that's all this is. It's just this whole big game
a game.
Everybody doing whatever they want to do to get whatever they feel they need to get. Right. And somebody told me last night that I didn't get the names of the 3 richest men in I don't know if it's America. Mm-hmm. And as much money as they have.
The Rothschilds or...
I didn't get the names. I'll have to come back to that one too. But it was just a passing thought because we're talking about how people control it. And they monopolizing the whole market.
Just
on different things everywhere.
Right.
And so for what? Where is it going? What's that going to lead us to? But anyway, back to Trump.
Let's not.
But I did hear him speaking on the immigration this morning. Mm-hmm. He was serious about it. He said that it's not about the ones that are coming over to America that are legal or that they do the appropriate procedures.
Right. So he
doesn't have a problem with that.
He doesn't have
He's
any
just saying
problem
if you're
with that.
coming over and
illegally,
you're illegally,
right,
then that's a problem.
But that's just like if you're stealing something that's illegal. I'm not. If I'm a store, am I supposed to just? Oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? Turn my head the other way.
No, because you'll go out of business.
Right.
And he is, in America, the United States is a corporation.
It's a corporation.
Hello. So he's running it as a business because it is a corporation.
Right.
It has always been a business.
Right.
So he's running it as a business.
Right. But then they push for you to do things legally, and they not, it's a big game. Like the game we were talking about, it's just a big game.
Well, everybody else follow the rules and the laws, but now we have, what's that word that they use? Amnesty. They have amnesty. If somebody can come over to your country and have amnesty, that means they can come over here, kill somebody, do whatever.
And you can't do nothing. Yeah.
Amnesty. But no one here has it.
Right.
No one here has it. No, not the regular, not the norm. But yeah, so just going on one today. What is happening here?
We tired.
Oh, okay, we are. Tired. Okay, did you hear about the there was a truck driver that was, there has been a lot of accidents. It was so many this morning.
We were talking about that last week. So
many. Watching the news.
A lot of hit and runs.
Exactly.
Crazy.
You have to be super careful.
Right.
Stay off of the curb. Back up. Wear white. Take some precautions not to get hit.
Right.
Because it really was a lot this morning. I started to write them down and it just became overwhelming. I'm like, are you serious? Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. But I did get this one that caught my eye, and it was the truck driver on the 405 where 25 people were injured.
Yeah, what happened with that?
They didn't go into specifics. They just said that he was 60 years old and that he suffered several broken bones from his from the accident, and that
he caused.
That they didn't say he caused it.
Okay,
they said it's still up under investigation.
Okay.
They're still investigating it. But it was just a number of people. That was 25 people.
Wow.
And I believe that was just on their bus. And I think he hit something. Another truck or something.
Probably didn't fall asleep. You know how sometimes they do
that can happen.
Yeah.
That could really, really happen. But it's just, you have to just be careful.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And even though you're trying to get where you're trying to go, there's other people's lives at stake when you're a driver.
Right.
And then I have to...
I thought you were going to sneeze again.
I know. I don't know. Something is making me... I'm allergic to. I don't know if it's...
this perfume.
The new tea. Maybe it's the tea is delicious, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So what other stories?
So did you get a chance to watch the Tiny? What's the new show with T.I. and Tiny, Family and Friends?
Well, I saw a clip of it.
Right.
I saw a clip. I was scrolling and I saw just a clip of it, and I thought it was good. I thought it's a good concept because it allows more people to be on.
Right.
And it opens up conversation about things that we probably would have wanted to know a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Because, LaToya last was Memphis, but you've had a baby since then. So, okay, but you're still out there. I respect the fact that you're still out there working and pulling your weight and trying to become all that you could be. Right. So I appreciate that part of her.
Excellent.
And then she was talking to her daughter, so I saw that. And then Tip and Tiny with the he cheated, he bought the car type of thing. It's like, okay,
his guys, response was like,
can we get something new? Don't disrespect to that, because anytime anybody does anything in a relationship to somebody, it could be hurtful, but you guys are still trying to work it out. So you're doing business together, and you can be friends. Okay?
Right.
But if you want
that part, I get.
Yes, if you want it, you don't have to prove to us that it's just that easy to get you back. Just get your due back if you want it.
If you want it.
And then have those stipulations on this is what it is.
Right.
And now, if you don't do this, then we good. We don't have to draw it out to make it be a whole situation.
Right.
Because if you're not going to be with them, just say that's what it is.
Right. And I'm pretty sure they worked it out, but they're not going to do it publicly. I know I wouldn't, because it's nobody else's business.
But it's too late, though.
No, but I'm saying the stipulations we won't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't know that part. But I'm pretty sure they're there.
Yes, but it's too late.
Right.
Just say, take your man back.
Take him back, girl. Take him back.
Unless you decide you just don't want him.
Right.
But I like the fact LaToya Luckett, because I thought she still became strong after Destiny's Child.
Right.
She didn't fall by the wayside. She still just kept charging, moving forward.
So good for her.
And she just got married.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. That was awesome that she found love in her life. That was awesome for her.
Right.
And then I like the other girl.
LaToya. You already said her.
Monica.
Oh, Monica. Yeah,
I like Monica.
Me
Monica,
too.
she was low key, but she's kind of tough.
Yeah, she
she is kind of tough. It really is
feisty. Yeah,
she's not playing with anything.
She's not.
So she's very direct. She's very direct, and I like that about her. But her little daughter was a little like, whoa.
Yeah.
I saw that little clip where she slammed the table. I was like, okay, wait a minute, little mama. You as cute as a button, but
right, but
there's some rules around here. No.
Now, what did you think about the daughter Zanique Pullins with the eye surgery? Well, you know, her and her mom, Tiny, had the eye surgery.
Right.
And she reversed it. The daughter reversed hers.
Okay.
The eye color change.
Well, I think that it's something that she could have just did with the contacts.
True, huh?
Because you were way too young to make that decision.
Right.
Your mother's older. She's living a different lifestyle. There's a gap there. And I am your mom, and we can be best friends. But I would have personally advised against her having a complete surgery.
Right.
Because you're too young. And then we deal with critics. We deal with all type of things. And you never know what's going to make you want to not do that.
Well, forget the critics.
But I'm just saying,
and
that's the way it should be. But,
right.
but most people do feed off of that. When people say things,
but the reason,
read it and
you
listen to it.
The reason for her change, because it's called a bright ocular implant. They put it. They put a slit in your iris.
Right.
And they put the implant right there that, that makes the color change. So it's an actual...
It's an implant.
I can't even talk.
It was
an actual implant.
Right.
And she went to a country, Tunisia. I think that's near Asia.
And what happened?
To have the surgery done.
Okay.
And let me see. She said that she could have went blind due to the surgery. That's why she took him out. The doctor told her she could go blind. It was a chance that she can go blind.
Okay, so they told her.
So she was having problems with hers. Her mom, Tiny, doesn't have problems with hers.
Right, but my question would be, the first thing that came to my mind is simply they didn't tell you what the pros and cons were
before you got the
before
surgery.
You even did the surgery.
Right.
But I'm just saying overall, not even because of her going blind. I'm simply speaking on the fact that she is way too young to make that type of decision. So the contacts would have been a better choice for her because you can remove them. Mm-hmm. You could put them in and then you can remove them.
Right,
and with the laser, she had to go back up under surgery again. So my only point was, too young to make such a permanent decision.
Right. And that's too dangerous for me. Anything dealing with the eyes, your vision, I would just leave it alone.
The contacts, I just felt would have been a better choice for her at her young age. But she is independent and she's living her life and she is now becoming a young woman.
Yeah, so good for her though. But she did take that precaution. She did go ahead and have them removed. I know for me, because I wear reading glasses, and I tried doing the contacts thing. It's just so uncomfortable. So I can imagine an implant in your eye.
Well, I'm sure for the implant, it'd have to be easy breezy. You'd have to be able to just move your eyes normally, or it wouldn't be effective. What would be the purpose,
But it's covering your natural.
With the contacts, now, were they uncomfortable because of dryness of the eyes, or just because you just...
I mean, it's just,
they didn't adjust to your eyes?
I knew they were there. It was because I knew they were there.
You knew they were there?
Yeah.
Okay, so the glasses works better, though.
Yeah, sometimes.
But, okay, so that was good, though. So that's her oldest daughter, Tiny's daughter. She had the implants removed. Right. She did the reverse process, so they went in and did two surgeries.
And she also said that she wouldn't recommend it because she put it on Twitter, and when somebody responded to her and they asked her because she was really interested in having that procedure done, and she said she would not recommend it. So
okay, that was her,
and that was good because the other girl was young too. So
that's her opinion because it works for someone. I remember years ago when Caucasian women were getting permanent tattoos way back then for eyeliner, their eyebrows, their lip liner.
Right.
I mean, years and years ago. So it's something that's been going on where it's permanent.
Right.
So now we are now introduced to it, but I mean, I think some people, if you're older, you could do it. Younger,
because you don't have to worry about doing it every day. So
yeah, just if you're younger, just things change.
Right.
So by the time you get older, you pretty much settle. So we can do these permanent eyebrows because this is it. But the young girls, just take your time. Don't move so fast. Just some of that stuff you don't have to do. All the implants and everything. You don't have to do that. You got natural beauty and utilize that when you're young. Mm-hmm. Want to touch up a little bit when you get older, I can understand it. But when you're young, you're working with what you were given. Okay, we can move on to... Okay, I was going to talk about the high school students. that was on an archaeology field trip, and they found a 6,000-year-old axe. Like they said, it was an axe, 6,000 years old, and they had it verified on the time limit. And they said that it was from the Native Americans, and that was very interesting for the high school students to discover it while on a field trip, because I remember being in microbiology and there was a section of that course that said you had to go to the beach and we had to look for fungi, we had to look for just certain things, and my teacher absolutely skipped it. And that was the most interesting part. That was the reason why I took the class, why I really wanted to be in there, was to go do this research, because they're talking about we're researching and curing. Well, let's see what the research is about, you know. And I was super excited about taking it because of that particular section, and the teacher just skipped it. I was having a fit. I had to go and address him. No,
where's the administrators?
No, I went to talk to him about it. It's like, Brenda, well, you could go to the beach. I could go to the beach. No, it's a curriculum. It's in the curriculum. But no, I wound up going to the beach. But he did skip it.
That just made me think of when, for my science thing, we went to, because, you know, I got a scholarship to go to be a chiropractor. So part of the thing was, part of the course was to go to, and I forgot where we went, but they had a big gym full of cadavers. Cadavers. And, you know, the smell alone, I walked in there, I couldn't hold my breath that long, so I had to keep running in and out, all those dead bodies. And so I would try to hold my breath and look, and, you know, it was just so interesting, but at the same time, I couldn't take it.
You didn't take the smell.
The smell, oh my gosh. And then looking at that, I almost started crying. They had little babies in jars with, you know, not water, but
whatever the substance is. I know, I went through the nursing program.
And it's just, then I stopped eating meat. I just, you know, it
took a toll
me.
on you.
Yeah. I was like,
this is not for me. I cannot handle this.
That's why I said, oh no. Paperwork. Give me the paperwork. Okay. But.
No, I went through the nursing program. So one of the assignments, one of the wards I was assigned to was the leukemia. And when someone is really affected with it and it's over, whatever inside of them comes out. And it does. So I am taking care of a patient. I'm really taking care of this patient. I'm responsible for.
It's like an open sore.
Wait, no, it was just worse than that. I picked the patient up, and the smell that was delivered, it made me regurgitate right there in the patient's room, and that's a no-no as a nurse. Who throws up? You know, who does that? Yeah, but it's a lot. So you have to have a stomach for nursing.
You do, definitely.
You have to have a stomach to work in the morgue.
Right.
You have to really be able to handle those type of positions, and that's with knowing who you are and what you want.
Right.
Made me think of Phaedra. That's what she does, working in the morgue.
I mean, I think I can handle the morgue because they're already, you know, you do drain the blood, but you're not the one cutting them up and draining the blood. It's the mortician. So I think I can handle that. They're just dead. I mean, you know, more so than cutting them open.
Right.
You know.
And it's a lot, the people that are alive that you have to be worried about. The dead is dead. So it's just a simple, see moving through the air, like, okay, we don't have to worry about you, Jimmy.
And so you hear them make a noise, you're like, what?
But then I did hear that the bodies,
they do.
They make several different noises after death.
Right.
So that could be a little, but once you get used to it and you know it,
I guess
it's like, okay, Jimmy,
right?
You clocking out on me now.
Oh wow, I guess. So Tuesday is a big day, November the 6th. This coming Tuesday, everybody get out there and vote. Everybody go out and vote.
Yes.
If you want change,
yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, go out and vote.
Right. And a proposition that that really caught my attention was Proposition 8. It's the change for dialysis treatment.
Okay, so now there's two sides to that. One side is that are the dialysis companies, the dialysis companies, centers, are they being fair with their billing? Are they overcharging? Are they doing what they're really supposed to be doing? Because that's the reason why it would be no. Because if you guys are abusing the situation, then that money could be going somewhere else where it could be utilized properly. Now, that's just one way to look at it. Now, if they are doing what they're supposed to do, that's a different side.
Because, excuse me, they do make a big profit. And I don't know if you noticed, like within the last, I would say 5 years, there's like a dialysis, well, maybe a couple of dialysis centers like on almost every corner, just like liquor stores now.
Right.
Right. And I mean, before.
Okay, but is it because they are needed? Or is it because they're making so much money, they're opening up several different businesses?
But here's the thing. Whether it's really needed is up to different individuals, because the people who are on it and who are dependent on it, they definitely need it. 3 days a week, they got to have that. Mm-hmm. I have a friend who had a husband who passed. He got in an accident, and he ended up in a convalescent home. And so he's supposed to get dialysis 3 days a week. They skipped a day. He died. Like, it's like life support for them. They have to have it. But like you said, is it really needed? A lot of people, because your kidneys repair itself in 30 days.
Unless they're just destroyed.
Right, unless they're just totally gone. But your kidneys do repair if they have that power to repair.
Right, but the dialysis machine is there. So because there is no repair, you have to get a whole other kidney by the time you get there, maybe? That's what I'm saying. A lot of the times, too, like, you know, with these doctors, like you said, it's big money. So that's what... So
I mean, like, I'm not going to say that it's not needed for everybody.
Right.
For some people it is. But some people, it's like, you know... Try other alternatives. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could do that.
That's just like what conventional medicine.
Not to that,
right.
If it's not to that,
but for those who really do need it, they really do need it.
I know, but what I'm saying is that if it's the big companies taking over the part of it and abusing it, then it's difficult for us to vote for. Let's keep them. Because if they're not doing the right thing by it and they're taking the money and they're opening up a dialysis center on every other corner, what is that saying? Is that abusive to that? But then if we do that, will the people who need it be affected?
They will be affected. Let me tell you how. Because they would be forced to go to emergency rooms. Emergency rooms are already crowded. And I mean, for them to be in an emergency room 3 days a week, you know what I mean? Like, that's
well. The people who are putting this together, don't they know that?
Well, yeah, but
so let's deal with the reality of that. So the people who put this bill together, they already know that if they shut these buildings down, or if you say they have no more funding to do, is the funding for adding more businesses, or is it just to run the ones that are in existence? I think that should be a big question. Is it to fund what's happening? Or is it to add?
What's to come?
Yes. But the people who are going against it, don't they understand this? That people's lives could really be affected if...
Right, because it can close down a lot of dialysis centers. And for me, as being, you know, not a patient on dialysis, but just a patient who might have to go to the emergency room.
Right.
I wouldn't want to sit there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody has to have dialysis, have them go first. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people who are on a lot of people.
Right, but it could be life-saving for them. Then that just draws open a whole nother
can of worms.
Another line to cross, because if I'm sitting there waiting and this person has dialysis and there's something wrong with me,
right? How do you say, well, see him first or see me first or whatever?
However,
right. I think they need to keep the centers open. Definitely keep them open. Okay. Because
So you don't think it's misuse of funds?
I mean, I don't know if it's misuse of funds, but hospitals have misuse of funds. So, you know, we can't close down the hospitals. You know what I mean?
Right.
Put a cap on it.
Yeah, and the hospital is anyone that does it is wrong.
Right.
Anyone that does it is wrong. But here's the thing with the hospitals. There are multiple. It's not just one sector of our society that is being seen. It is a whole society. So they might have a little more wiggle room. But with the dialysis, it is just one section of people that need that treatment. Everyone doesn't need that. So it might be a little bit different. For me, I think that
the
hospital different than the dialysis, but they all service a need. And I just want to know, so what do you think that it's...
I'm voting no. I'm voting no on Prop 8. Don't close down the centers. Keep them open.
And just let these people get their money.
Well, let these people get their treatment. That's how I see it.
No, it could go either way. And I'm not sure. No, I don't want misuse of funds. There's too much other stuff.
There's so much misuse of funds and everything, even at the grocery stores.
Right, you do. But you always pick and choose your fights and battles on what. You know, we cannot fight all of them. Or we really could. but we just haven't thought outside the box enough to do it. But that's another topic. But really, you do pick and choose your battles. Like, you know,
right.
you
but
can
when
fight
it's affecting somebody's health
in their life. Yes, it's true. I think that they should make sure that the people are treated right. But I don't think that they should manipulate the public or manipulate which is the voters, into that's thinking that it's one thing and it's something totally different.
No, that's what you have to read into it. But vote no.
Okay, I'm not saying vote yes. I'm just saying vote. Just whatever you do, take a vote, take a stand.
No, but seriously, read the pros and the cons for it. You know, you have to.
Yes, take a stand. Say something about something.
Now, what about Prop 10? That's the
It affects everybody differently as well because it's about the housing.
Right.
If you're an owner, then of course you want to be able to have the control to raise your rent as much as you want to.
Which is ridiculous. That's just being greedy.
It is, but it's an investment and you want money back, a return on it. And if you are a renter, you're like, oh my God, I'm barely affording this and I cannot. Please don't raise the rent and I want to stay in this area. But it is a way of separation and division too, because zip codes make a difference.
They do.
Sometimes you can't afford to be in a particular zip code.
But it's in every zip code. It's not just one particular zip code. It's all the zip codes.
I know. And each one that goes up,
right.
If you live in 90210, you know where that is.
Right.
And if you live in 90712, that's a different zip code.
Right.
So there's different expectations in the zip codes.
Right.
That's why we have them, because they're very important numbers. It tells a lot about each of us.
But
our zip code. But go ahead.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it does. I mean, from one perspective.
Okay,
there could be many perspectives. Let's go there. You're not going to be combative. I'm just going to say that there could be many perspectives. One perspective can be that, you know, if you have a Beverly Hills zip code or if you have a Los Angeles zip code, there is a difference.
No, there's
some Los Angeles zip codes are really great too, and some are not.
That's what I'm saying.
But they can identify your tax bracket. They can the censors. That's why they can identify who you are by your zip code or what bracket you're in or what lifestyle you're living or what you know. So the zip code says a lot.
But my whole thing is, I don't care what zip code you're in. I don't feel that you just because you own a property that you should be able to raise the rent, you know, to like ridiculous. I mean, because rent is ridiculous.
Right.
It really is. And you shouldn't have that right.
You shouldn't.
Because it's affecting the livelihoods of everybody around you.
You
know,
should not.
There's going to be the people that come rob you because, you know, they got to eat too, you know.
But I do think that there has to be a medium. Because I think the purpose of owning property is to be able to understand and look at it from an investment point of view. Now, not being ridiculous with it and just raising it astronomical, but for you to be able to say, I invested in this property and I want a return on it. I think that's important too. Or otherwise, why buy it? Housing is housing. I understand that, but most people purchase for investment reasons to make sure that they are secure and that their property gains some type of equity in it. And also that we could lease it out and make a profit.
Okay, so I'm making a profit right now on a property. And rent is affordable. And I'm going to keep it affordable.
Well, that's a personal choice, and that's a good thing. And they'll know that you'll have a waiting list. She's really good.
Right.
She will make sure that your rent is staying at a normal rate. That's a wonderful thing. And everybody's not going to have that mentality.
Right.
That's why it's on the ballot.
Right.
Because they want to know, no, we want more money. And I don't. It can be considered greed. I don't think that a person that is going to raise it from $1,500 to $2,000, I think that's a little greedy.
Right. And see, my only thing is, you know how the state, they have their laws and they have their fees. They do go up every year. So I can't understand why you would go up on rent, but it's not an astronomical amount. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's important that you be fair.
Yeah, fair.
Even though we don't live in a fair society, we live in a capitalist society, and everybody is about winning, and it does not matter. I mean, with the good at heart is wonderful. You know, I've learned a lot of things recently about looking at it from another perspective, and everything is not about money. It is about what you can do for others and how you can help and give back and contribute.
Right.
Because usually somebody, it might not have been anybody close to us, but usually in this life someone helped us.
Right.
Or someone was kind, or someone did a great gesture. So that what you're saying is absolutely beautiful, and it's wonderful. Don't raise the rent. And people should I think they should be able to do it. I'm a little bit on the line about it. Right. I think they should be able to do it as homeowners, but I think it needs to be reasonably monitored. A certain percent, yes.
So rent control. You're for the rent control.
I'm for controlling to a moderate level, as long as it's not not. You're
That's
raising it,
like
I just said,
right.
$1,500. We're raising the rent, and it's now $500 more. I think that's ridiculous. But I think if they say, okay, we're going to raise the rent, and we can start off $50 more, and increase it. So every so often, okay, but it still needs to be a cap on it.
But the cities too, they need to start raising their fees for everything. Because even registration went up. I mean, damn. Everything. You know what I mean? So I do get it. But at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, this is just the way we roll. It's the way we move. It's the way we live. It's the way we survive. It's our commerce. Everything is going to increase.
Right.
Somebody told me they remember when gas was like 15 cents.
Oh, wow.
Gas, great-grandpa. 15 cents, and it was red as an apple.
Wow.
That was real gasoline, he would say. Wow. But now we're at
4.5. Is it 5? 4.95? I don't put gas
just
in my car, but it's something like that.
We're at high gas prices. So I think it's the way the world turns. It's just the way it goes. We have to do this to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So yeah, it's just, everybody pay attention to the polls, read the pros, read the cons, and please go out and vote. Tuesday, November the 6th.
And that would be a good suggestion, family night. Everybody could discuss what they think about it, and everybody do a little portion of research on it so that when everyone comes to the table, they have what they're supposed to have, and everyone can share in the family. Right. That's a family event.
That is a family event.
Yes.
That's good. Idea, Brenda.
Yes, just do that so that you could be aware of what's happening. Right. Because if we don't vote and we don't stand up for what we believe in, we'll fall for anything, and that's the way it appears.
And we've been falling lately, so
we need to start
standing up for real. Seriously.
And I think it's getting to a point where just look around you and just really see what is happening, and will your vote really count? Is it really effective?
Let's see. Let's go vote and see.
Let's just go out to the polls, pull it out there, and just try to make a difference.
Right.
And we all have to do that in our own individual way as well as voting. Like you said, with the rent thing, I think that was terrific. To say, like, I'm not going to raise it because it's so high and people do need to live. Right. I get that part. That's beautiful. So if we all just do one thing or something nice for one person,
maybe it'll come back to us. It haven't come back to me yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
Oh my God. No, I'm getting it. It will come back to you when the least expected moment of your life you will get. But just putting out that good energy there is important.
Right.
To let someone know that you care or that you can make a difference in anybody's life. So we challenge you, I do, to just try to do one thing good in somebody's life and see what happens in yours. Just one thing. Be positive and do something great. It don't have to be fabulous, but just something in someone else's life, and it shows consideration and non-selfishness. Wow. And so I'm challenging myself to do that this week. So next week when I come back, I want to see the things that I've accomplished in doing something for someone else.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be great.
That is great. Well, it's that time. I thank you guys for joining us today in the ladies' room. As always, have a wonderful weekend from Girl KB.
Hey, we're signing out, Morris Media Studios Live. And I'm Brenda at the ladies' room.